Hello friends, this is Dr. Vijay, consultant surgical oncologist from Apollo CBCC Cancer Care, Ahmedabad.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Rishit Shah, medical oncologist from Apollo CBCC Cancer Care, Ahmedabad.
And last week we have discussed about tumors which originate in the bone, and we discussed in detail about the bone sarcomas. And this week let us talk about soft tissue sarcomas. Before heading into our topic, I would like to tell you what actually we term as soft tissue. Soft tissue is nothing but a connective tissue which supports the important body structures of the body. For example, muscle, tendons, blood vessels and nerves. If any cancer originates from these structures, we term them as soft tissue sarcomas. These can originate in any organ of the body, in any site of the body, be it in the limbs, be it in the abdomen or even in the head and the neck areas. So more commonly it is seen that thighs have a higher predilection for thighs, but it can be seen at any other area of the body. When it comes to age, it is seen equally in both in children as well as in the adults. And reportedly there are no clear-cut causes for soft tissue sarcomas or the risk factors, but there are few inherited syndromes or sometimes even chemical exposures or radiation exposures are reported as certain causes for soft tissue sarcomas. So Dr. Rushit, I just want to know about the clinical features with which the patients present if they have a soft tissue sarcoma.
So Vijay, as you have rightly mentioned that practically soft tissue sarcoma can involve any organs or arise from any organs. But there are some common sites from which they usually arises. One of the most common sites is thigh, so lower limb or lower extremity thigh as well as leg. After that it can also arise from the upper extremity like arm or shoulder or even hand. Another one of the most common site is abdomen, and in abdomen particularly retroperitoneum or the deepest part of the abdomen. And apart from them it can also involve some gastrointestinal tract like organs like liver, stomach as well. So depending on the site of the origin of the tumor, patient presents with different symptoms. Most commonly they present with painless swelling, which is usually seen in the thigh or leg. Initially the swelling is usually painless and it is gradually increasing in the size. But over the period of time, patient can develop certain compressive symptoms due to tumor compressing nearby nerves or nearby vessels. So it produces pain, as well as it can cause numbness or feeling of numbness in the limb. As well, some patient also presents with swelling of the distal extremities. That is, swelling is in the thigh and patient develops swelling below the that swelling. So these are the usual symptoms when the tumor is localized to the particular part. But when it metastasizes or spreads to the other parts of the body, most of the time it is lung at which tumor usually spreads. So around 20% of patients usually presents with metastatic soft tissue sarcoma, and 80% of the time it is the lung. So when it involves the lung, patient can present with breathlessness or chest pain or little cough. Some patients also do have some constitutional symptoms like fever, generalized weakness or malaise and all. So these are the usual symptoms of soft tissue sarcoma. So after that, Vijay, I would like to know what are the usual investigative modalities and the biopsies we go ahead with.
Yes. So whenever a patient comes with the symptoms which you have mentioned, Dr. Rushit, so first we need to know the chronology of the symptoms, how quick they have progressed, and if at all they have symptoms which suggest that the disease has already spread to other areas of the body. Suppose that we need to do a general systemic examination of the entire body, followed by examination of the local part where the swelling is, if at all it is palpable. Like if it is in the arms and the limbs, arms and the legs, definitely we can do a complete palpation and all. But if it is in the abdomen, then definitely there are certain other investigative modalities which have to be actually used as an accessory thing. So depending on the location, our investigations change. Particularly if it is in the thigh, we do an MRI of the thigh. If it is in the abdomen, we do a CT scan of the abdomen to see the location of the tumor, extent of the tumor, and also involvement of other major vascular structures like the blood vessels or nerves or crucial organs in the body related to that particular site. Post which, because as we know that, as I have already mentioned, that there are more than 50 subtypes of soft tissue sarcomas, depending on which the treatment also differs, we need to know what type of tumor it is. So for that, again, like in case of osteosarcoma, as I have already mentioned, the site of the biopsy should be planned by the treating oncologist only, even in this case. So biopsy is nothing but removal of the tissue and then doing a microscopic examination. In this case, the microscopic examination should be done by an experienced pathologist so that they can give us the type on the biopsy itself. Sometimes additional investigations over the biopsy like immunohistochemistry or a cytogenetic analysis has to be done to know the type of the tumor. Along with, we also need to know the grade of the tumor. What do I mean by grade here? Most of the patients do get confused between grade and stage. Grade actually denotes how speed the disease can spread. Stage denotes how far the disease has already spread. These two are two different things and people should not get confused with. Grade is important for us to know with what way we have to treat and also how to prognosticate the patient. This has got a very good role and an important role in soft tissue sarcomas. So post that, also we need to do a systemic examination like a CT scan of the chest, because as you have already rightly mentioned that the soft tissue sarcomas have a tendency to spread to the lungs. So either to rule out or to confirm that the disease has got spread to the lungs, a CT scan of the chest is mandatory to properly stage the patient. So once the staging and the diagnosis is done, Dr. Rushit, what would be the treatment modality for these patients?
Right. So in very small tumors, we usually go for upfront surgery. Otherwise, for most of the patient, there is a significant role of perioperative treatment. That is, before surgery, we use radiotherapy and chemotherapy also. So radiotherapy is beneficial before surgery in reducing the size of the tumor. So it shrinks in size and surgeon can operate it with good margins and in a better way. So this is about radiotherapy. In some patients, we do give chemotherapy along with the radiotherapy to increase our efficacy of the neoadjuvant treatment. And for some variety of soft tissue sarcomas, which are really chemosensitive, we go with only chemotherapy for a small subset of patients. Again, after chemotherapy or radiotherapy, we go ahead with the surgery, and on the basis of final histopathological report, like what are the risk factors and what are the chances of recurrence, we decide whether radiation or chemotherapy needs to be given after surgery or not. It again depends on the fact that whether chemotherapy or radiotherapy has been given before surgery or not. So there are multiple factors on which we decide the role of chemotherapy and radiotherapy. This was about localized soft tissue sarcoma. When it has metastasized to the distant organ, there is definite role of chemotherapy to control the disease. And as you have mentioned that whenever, even if the disease has metastasized, but it is resectable, then after chemotherapy we go ahead with the curative resection of the primary as well as the metastasis. Apart from that, few specific subtypes of soft tissue sarcoma, they can respond to some targeted therapy as well as hormonal therapy. So their role in the soft tissue sarcoma is also an important thing. So this was about medical treatment and radiation treatment of soft tissue sarcoma. So going ahead, Vijay, what are the surgical modalities and how do we proceed ahead with the surgeries in the cases of soft tissue sarcoma involving limbs as well as other organs like retroperitoneum?
Right. As there are multiple subtypes and also the multiple sites of the body where the disease may affect, and as you have rightly mentioned that there is a role of clear-cut evident role of neoadjuvant treatments, particularly with radiation when it comes to a localized soft tissue sarcoma. So once the treatment is done, our option, like in case of bone sarcomas, is always to preserve the limb if at all it is a limb sarcoma. So the first choice is always to go ahead with a wide excision wherein they remove the tumor along with the surrounding wide normal tissue which is being cut. So what happens in thigh is actually divided into compartments, and if the tumor, if that particular swelling is restricted to one compartment, then a wide local excision can be done with an enough cuff of normal tissue remaining. Suppose if the tumor is so big that the cuff of the remaining tissue is very small, in that case we can just directly go ahead with the removal of the entire compartment, provided the limb remains functional. So these are multiple things which we need to think to give a functional limb with a non-cancerous area also. So radiation helps us in preserving the limb, radiation helps us in sterilizing the margins, and that has got a very good role. So suppose if at all, if this is not possible, or if the tumor has crossed the compartments, or if the tumor has involved the major vessels, main vessels of the limb, then yes, maybe a chance to save the life, we may have to remove the limb, which we term as amputation. This is a very brief explanation about the surgery if at all a tumor is involved in the limb. Suppose there are certain soft tissue tumors, most commonly we term as liposarcomas retroperitoneal, which is behind the intestines in the abdomen itself, behind the intestines and the important vessels. So there the tumor originates, it grows too huge before it actually creates the symptoms to the patient. And those areas, if we feel that the patient requires radiation at a later date, yes, definitely we have to radiate the patient prior to the surgery and then operate and remove the tumor. So that is again an intra-abdominal procedure where all the crucial organs are just left like that, and just removing the tumor would be the surgical modality. And suppose, like you have told, if it is in the intestine or if it is in the uterus, then again the surgical procedures would differ. But per se, it is always, if it is in the limb, as I have already told, most commonly we see it in the thighs. Definitely limb preservation is our first priority, followed by amputation to save the life. And if it is anywhere else, we'll have to just remove the tumor and preserve all the crucial organs to maintain the vital organs of the functioning of the body.
Right, and many a time it happens that after giving neoadjuvant treatment like chemotherapy or radiation therapy, tumor may not actually decrease in size, but what we achieve is metabolic response, which we actually we will see in the histopathological examination.
Right. So I think when you're talking about this metabolic response, I feel we need to do a topic separately on just where we actually see for this metabolic responses, even on a CT scan.
Right.
And even
so gastrointestinal stromal tumor is one of the common entity among the various soft tissue sarcoma, and that we are going to discuss in our next session. So till then, if you guys have any kind of query or suggestions or comment, you can type below, or you can go to our respective pages and you can say. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.